currently in the beautiful Santorini, Greece. Oh my gosh, y'all, take a look at my Airbnb.
I like the way I'm feeling. Can't touch this.
All right, y'all, what do y'all think about my Airbnb? This is the outside of my Airbnb, but what did you think about the inside? Did you like it? Let me know in the comment section below. With only 2 nights, 3 days in Santorini, I wanted to make the most of every minute. The very first thing I did once I checked into my Airbnb was walked up to one of the brunch spots that my Airbnb host recommended. It was pretty good. Ate there, came back to pick up my rental car because he organized for the car to be delivered to the Airbnb. So took a little footwork and confusion out of my planning, which was very much appreciated. And I was off to find the beach. I had a little mishap with driving and throughout Santorini, but I found Kamari Beach. Kamari Beach is one of the popular beaches in Santorini, and a little bit surprising to me because black sand, not really black sand, it was more like black rocks, like pebbles. And so it was not my type of vibe because I love like pure sand that you just sit on and you just like melt into the sand. That was not happening at Kamari Beach at all. And so those rocks was steaming hot there. So I was a little disappointed because I was expecting like some like sand. That's my favorite part of the beach, y'all. I know it gets messy, but I just love walking on the sand and then getting in the water and then like the feet melting. Okay, I'm going too much in depth, but I didn't get that experience. But what I will say, Kamari Beach water is freaking amazing. It's not too wavy. It's perfect water to swim in. It's not too cold. It's just like very not too cold, not that lukewarm stuff, like perfect temperature. And overall it's a good vibe. The beach is beautiful itself. It's just that's not having that sand was just throwing me off because it was very difficult once you got in the water. And when you're walking to the water, it's just those rocks. It reminded me a little bit of Honolulu beaches because it was a lot of little pebbles. They have sand in Honolulu, but it was a lot of little pebbles like once you got in the water, and it was very annoying. It was very annoying today not today, but while I was here. I will point out that I did enjoy the fact that there was tons of restaurants with lounge chairs on the beach, that if you ordered food I should say, or a drink from the restaurant, you could sit on the lounge chair for however long you wanted at the beach, which was very convenient because, you know, different beaches, they don't have that setup. You have to rent the lounge chairs from someone else and you have to walk, you know, ways up to get food, or you gotta trust some shady people walking around selling drinks that ain't from a restaurant. So it was none of that here. It was very convenient. Like, they bring the food out to you. Not food, you gotta eat the food up, but they bring the drink out to you. You can order right there. That part I did love because I love me a good cocktail while I'm relaxing on the beach. So that was a plus about Kamari. After leaving Kamari, it was time to go to the very popular Ia. Ia is where you see those beautiful shots on postcards of the whitewashed buildings with the beautiful water view. That is Ia. And that was about a half-hour drive from my Airbnb, but I drove from the beach I was at. So I think it was like 45 minutes. But it was a good drive during the day anyway. I had my Beyonce Renaissance playing. I'm like, shout out to Queen B. I love Beyonce. And the fact that she dropped this during my Renaissance when I quit my job, listen, I feel like that album is for me. But anyway, it's just nothing like when you got your music playing, it's sunny, you just driving. I was like, go me. That was the calm before the storm. But anyway, I got to Ia and I was like blown away. Like, the pictures don't do this place justice. I'm so glad that I went there on day one. And I'm a little stuffy right now because going from one country to the next, the temperatures are kind of changing right now, and it went from being like 70 when Bulgaria, where I was at before coming to Greece, Athens and Santorini is hot. It's in the 80s lower to mid 80s. So anyway, I'm a little stuffy, so I needed to get some tea in Ia. And so I sat at this beautiful coffee shop, coffee kind of pastry shop in Ia. And if you are in Ia, I suggest you go here because you get amazing views, and the ice cream here is so good. The tea so good, it cleared me up that day anyway. And so I sat there for 2 hours just taking it all in and ear hustling, because it was people having some conversations. I was like, okay, y'all giving me some entertainment. But when I was leaving, I met a lovely woman who is from DC, and she's near retirement age, and I decided to be a little bit more assertive, and I just said, you know, hi, you know, where you from, and I saw you by yourself, and we talked for like a half hour. We just kind of walked up Ia, and I'm so glad I did, because she gave me tips about traveling to Turkey. She's been to like 47 countries. So just meeting her and getting that wisdom, I loved it. And she was just encouraging me like, girl, I travel all the time by myself, you better do it. And so I love that experience. And I wasn't expecting to really talk to people, not like talk like I'm just gonna be in an Airbnb and never say nothing to people, but I'm saying to just like put myself out there and say hi to someone, to a stranger, which is a lot for me. I'm very introverted, y'all, but I'm getting out of that bubble. And she was really, really sweet. I had to drive back to my Airbnb, which was a very nightmare experience. I had to pull over and say a prayer a few times, but I made it back because I lived to see another day to tell y'all about. Day 2 was all about my running dress photo shoot. It started off a little rocky because I feel like the photographer woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and he had me a little messed up, and I had to literally woosah, because I'm like, Tasha, you only here for a certain amount of time, so if you want to get this shot done with, you know, this beautiful dress and get everything going that he had, by the way, just suck it up. Even his assistant, thank goodness, was very patient and was apologizing for the photographer and kind of, you know, explaining to me he wasn't trying to be rude. But yeah, he just showed up like just in the funk, y'all. I was like over it. And there was another person that was supposed to be doing the shoot with me, like not with me together, but she booked the same times for me, because a lot of times if you book a photographer where you're traveling, they will shoot you and other people at the same time. You'll get your individual shots, but it's not just you one-on-one with the photographer. And so when he walked up, he was trying to explain to me that I wasn't by myself, and I'm like, all I said was good morning, and I got here 20 minutes early, and you 10 minutes late, and you coming at me all wrong. But anyway, like I said, his assistant was very kind and was apologetic for the photographer, and it was, y'all seeing these shots right now, it was worth me being patient, because oh my god, not only did I enjoy my photo shoot experience, but they did video for me, and I have the video now that I'm showing y'all. But it was just a great experience once the day went on. It was about an hour, and it was hot, and I was sweating, but I'm so glad I did it, because I will have this memory forever. I actually stood on the rooftops in the beautiful Ia Santorini. So I'm still so happy about it, even just thinking about yesterday. And the other woman that I met, she unfortunately could not go on the shoot because the dresses run small for this shoot. Now, that part of this trip, I did want to plan ahead for, and I did say, is there any way I can meet you to try on the dress, because the last thing I want to do is get there not fitted, because small chest, big booty, sometimes stuff don't fit me correctly. And it fit, one size fits, so it'll fit. The largest was a little tight in my bust area, and I don't have no breasts. So she had to reschedule her shoot, and we didn't get a chance to meet at that time. But lo and behold, I'm in this area trying to get a shot by myself with my selfie stick, and this woman come up, and she's like, you want me to take a picture? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, wait, you look familiar. Was you there this morning? She like, yeah. She was from New York, and we just chopped it up. We was vibing. She such beautiful light and energy. She's a solo traveler too, from New York. So I told her about the experience, and you know how he had a crappy attitude, and that she should definitely consider doing the shoot, which she ended up doing today. She texted me this morning saying she was on her way there. We had drinks at one of the restaurants in Ia, and we had brunch together, and then we went on our separate ways because we both had Yacht Cruises booked, but they were separate. And we was like, dang, I wish we could have did the Yacht Cruise together. But y'all, the yacht experience, perfect. I am loving day 2 in Greece. If you come to Greece, you have to do a catamaran. I did one, well, I didn't do a catamaran a couple years ago. A friend of mine rented a private yacht for her birthday, and this is very reminiscent of that experience, except for I don't have my crew with me. But I've met some amazing ladies in Greece today. Like I said before, I met someone from New York, and I just met someone from Florida, and she's telling me her life story, and we just connect because she is like, she's married with 3 kids, and she's like, I'm not gonna let my life stop. They don't want to travel, but I'm gonna travel. And just other things that she's been sharing with me, and I just think it's awesome that she is deciding to, like, you know, just do whatever she wants to do on her own terms. So I'm going to be sharing more stuff besides just me talking, with some video and everything that I've experienced. And it's food on this yacht, so y'all know I love my food. But everyone's like, we took a break so people can swim. And so since my experience in Jamaica, which I'm not even going to talk about here, I don't get in the water unless it's like I can walk in it. That's another story for another day. But I'm definitely enjoying my time here in Santorini. It may be moving up to number 1. And I said that yesterday, even though day 1 was rough for me, it was just so beautiful that I'm like, okay, maybe I need to just give it, you know, it was day 1, I was tired, and I'm glad I did. And I'll leave tomorrow, so I definitely have to come back. I have to come back to Santorini. It's literally nothing like I've ever experienced.
I like the way I'm feeling. Can't touch this feeling. I'm in my feelings. Batman, me under my feelings.
My Airbnb host is amazing. He set up my car rental for me. I paid 90 euros for 1 day to rent a automatic car in Santorini. Let me tell y'all what made this a horrible driving experience for me. Santorini, where I'm at, I am in the mountains. You can see, like, I'm looking down at the water right now, and also see another kind of like uphill spot where houses. That is the norm all throughout the island. Now me, not researching enough, again, I just was running out of time in the Schengen area, and I was like, I just gotta go to Santorini. I freaking got stuck. Not like literally my car stuck, but I got stuck because I got scared because my GPS, Google Maps, took me out of the way. I was trying to get to a beach, and it had me going uphill, like in the mountain area, to go. I thought it was trying to get me to go on the other side. I didn't know I was going to be going up that high, and I was like, hold up, the beach clearly is like down. Why am I going up? And I thought it just didn't want me to go around, or maybe I couldn't go around. Anyway, I got to this area where I thought it was saying do not enter, and so I'm like, crap, I gotta back up. Backing up downhill, y'all, I literally was freaking out, and I stopped. I just was like, okay, I can't do this. And I just had to have I had the emergency brake on, which is the only way you can actually put the car in park for real, is the emergency brake, which is different from me. I think that's how they make their cars in Europe, the automatic ones. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This lady was coming up, and I was like in her driveway. Like when I was trying to figure out how to get out of the situation, it was like when you back up, you can back up going straight, or you can back up into someone's driveway to kind of turn around. And that's what I was trying to do, but it was just too tight. And so she spoke a little bit of English, thankfully, because I was trying to use Google Translate, and she was so helpful, and she was trying to guide me, but she did not drive an automatic. She only drove manual. Manual meaning stick shift, y'all. So I'm like, okay. And she was just like, you got it, just calm down. Cause like, y'all, when I say I was like panicking and like freaking out, cause I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was just like, I was hot, and cause I don't know, I didn't even turn the air on. I was just all over the place, just not knowing where I was really at, and then thinking I'm gonna die because I'm up on this hill. I can be dramatic at times. Thanks, Mom. So I was just like, oh my God. So then the lady, she saw a couple, and she's like, do you know how to drive an automatic? And the woman was like, yeah. 3 people aside from me trying to get out of this spot. And I had a little car, y'all. Look at my car. This little car trying to get out of these spots, and even with the other 3 people, it was still tough. So once that happened, I didn't feel too bad, because I'm like, okay, 3 people who are used to driving in this area had a tough time getting out of the spot. And so they got me out of the spot, and I said, F this Google Maps. I'm just gonna follow whatever sign that says to a beach. I'm gonna follow the sign, and I'm just gonna stay down. I'm not going back up to go around. I'm not doing any of that. And thankfully I did, and I finally got to a beach. But y'all, I would not rent a car again to drive myself in Santorini. Now, the location, I personally would not drive a car anywhere where there's a lot of steep hills like Santorini. No, never ever again. I'm not used to that type of driving in Michigan. Oh, y'all. But thankfully, so many nice people here. I've had from taxi drivers to my Airbnb hosts to just in restaurants, everybody's been so accommodating in Santorini, thankfully. So that wasn't the end of it. Driving at night. I'm gonna have to sit down for this one. My smart self decided to drive from Ia, which is about half an hour away from where I'm at in Pyrgos, at night. Now, I was watching the sunset in Ia, which is very popular. I got lost in the sauce, and it was getting dark. And then I was like, well, heck, since it's already dark, I might as well, it's no point in rushing to get out of here at this point. Which is still true, because it was the same blackness at 8:30 that it was at 9:30 when I left. But baby, I could not handle driving uphill at night. I had to stop and pull over to the side of the road to literally just pray and try to calm myself down from crying, because I could not see. I even had my high beams on and still had a hard time seeing in front of me, and there's guardrails, but when I'm turning at night, I could see parts of guardrails that was missing. So I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be a dayline mystery. I'm gonna drive over the cliff. Y'all, I'll be dramatic as heck. And you thinking like, and you traveling solo? Yes, I am. But I just had to share the not so fun parts of traveling solo, because I didn't have anyone in the car with me to kind of help me out or just to talk to. And then it was just like overwhelming, like with emotion, just because I was really scared, y'all. And it was cars honking at me and like yelling at me because I was driving slow as hell uphill. And it was just like, I don't know, it was the most uncomfortable driving experience I've had. And it was worse. I had a scary driving experience driving from Detroit to Atlanta one time. And that was only because Tennessee, it was pouring down rain. It was like a freaking thunderstorm. I don't know. And you couldn't even see. Like, I was scared. But I was driving. My mom was in the car with me. And she was calming me down. When I was able to pull over. But it's just in the storm, I couldn't see with the windshield. Like, you could not see. I couldn't even see it just to pull over. I'm like hoping, praying people are stopping behind me not to hit me. It was worse than that because I didn't have my mama with me in the car, and it was just like I'm in freaking Greece. Like, what the heck am I doing? But I live to see another day because I'm telling y'all about it. But just words to the wise, if you are thinking about renting a car in Santorini, be prepared to go uphill. Be prepared. All right. Do you think you could rent a car in Santorini, or a place like Jamaica where it's like a lot of hills and you may have to go upward? Do you think you could do it? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comments. Is Santorini on your bucket list? Let me know in the comments. If it is, do you think you could travel to Santorini by yourself? If not, why not? Let me know. Let's get this conversation started in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.